when you reclaim that, you are literally saying to yourself, to your subconscious, to your inner child, to society, I mean, fuck what society has to say. You are saying to the wounded parts of yourself, I am deserving of living a fully embodied fucking life. Hello, my loves. Welcome to another video. If you have seen my face before, it is a blessing to have you back. If you have not seen my face before, my name is Isabel, and it is a blessing to have you here. Today, we are talking about something that I am very passionate about, and that is the importance of tapping into your sacral chakra. Now, if you have no idea what the heck your sacral chakra is, that is okay. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Healing your sacral chakra is a huge key to your expansion. It is a huge key to healing your emotional health, to healing your relationships, to healing, everything. At the end of the day, it is important for us to pay attention to all of the energy centers within our body, especially the lower energy centers, because in my opinion, if you want to reach higher realms, if you want to tap into your intuition, if you want to be able to speak your truth, if you want to be able to connect with higher realms, with source, you have to make sure that you're grounded. If you want to manifest, you have to make sure that you are grounded and feeling safe. It is really difficult to float up into the clouds, if you will, and not have your feet planted somewhere or grounded somewhere here on earth. So I like to think of the lower chakras as the foundation. It is like the foundation of your house, okay? And you want to make sure that those lower chakras are balanced. Now, I was gonna start a series talking about all of the chakras, starting with your root, but today I just felt like the sacral chakra needed to be addressed, needed to be talked about. So that's what we're talking about today. Okay, so what is the sacral chakra? First and foremost, you want to figure out where it is in your body. So it is located right below your navel, right above the root chakra, which is right where your pelvis is, the base of your spine is. So it's just kind of in that in-between area, okay? The color that is associated with this chakra is orange, and it is associated with the element of water. So every single chakra is associated with either masculine or feminine energy. If you don't know anything about that, I have a few videos that dive into what masculine and feminine energy is. If you want to watch those first and then come back, I will leave those below. But water is very much associated with feminine energy, with yin energy. So the sacral chakra houses your creativity. It houses your emotional expression, your sensuality, your openness. So since all of the chakras are connected, the way that our energy works is when our lower chakras are blocked or imbalanced, kind of like a water pipe. If there's a blockage, it's going to be hard for water to get past that blockage, right? Or if there's think of like a little creek and there's a big old rock in the middle of it, it's going to be hard for that water to freely flow to where it needs to go. If your sacral chakra is blocked, right, that is going to affect your confidence, which is your solar plexus, your willpower. And it's also going to directly affect your heart chakra, your heart center, which is your ability to love, your ability to openly and freely and safely love, and express love and receive love in relation to other people. So your sacral chakra, think of it as, it's associated with your self-love. And so how deeply you love yourself, how deeply you can honor your emotions, how deeply you can honor your truest expression is going to affect how deeply you can love and honor and embrace and accept other people. So the reason why I think it's so important for us to tap into our sacral chakra is because, first of all, our sacral chakra is associated with our sensuality, our sexuality. It's associated with our reproductive organs. Now, whether you identify as a male or a female, it does not matter. We all have these energy centers, just like we all have masculine and feminine energies. And again, I talk about that in those videos down below. But for women in particular, our sensual and sexual energy has been completely suppressed and distorted. So a common thing that you will see is women being objectified and personified as, well, that doesn't make sense, objectified and personified. Women being objectified and painted as sexual objects. The minute that a woman decides to have sovereignty over her sexual nature, instead of allowing it to be distorted and manipulated into this one-dimensional, dirty, taboo thing, the way that it is in the media, the way that it is in music videos, in movies, there's a number of examples, right? The way that it's distorted and twisted by mainly men. Women are guilty of doing this too, but the minute that a woman decides that she is going to have sovereignty over this aspect of her being, she is villainized. She is demonized, she is shamed, she is harassed, she's called this and this and that, and there's no right way in this society, and I believe that we have a long, long way to go for women, all beings, but women in particular. There is no right way for us to express this aspect of ourselves without somebody coming and saying, you're objectifying yourself, or you have no respect for yourself, or you're a slut, or whatever the fuck, right? And this is something that I'm passionate about because I experienced a lot of shaming and harassment when I was very young, because I was a very openly, I had a very sensual nature and I wanted to explore things. And granted, I wasn't doing it in a way that was healthy and mindful because I was young and I didn't really know my own worth. But I was constantly belittled and shamed and undermined because of this, when I knew and I know that deep down all of us have this within us. And it's not just about sex. It's not. Sensuality is not just about sex. It's just not. And the way that this energy, this beautiful feminine flowing, powerful energy has been distorted in society just makes me so frustrated and so sad also, because we just need to heal. We just need to heal, and we need to reassociate with this energy, because the way that it is perceived still today it's just not. It's through a lens of fear, and your sensuality and your sexuality is the most sacred thing. Does that mean that, because I was taught this growing up, but I was taught that from a place of fear. I was taught that you shouldn't express yourself in this way, you shouldn't explore this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't wear this, you shouldn't wear that, because it's sacred and it's a treasure and it's precious, and you should wait until you find someone that you love. I was taught that sexuality was sacred in that way growing up, and for some that is true, but I don't think that we should be viewing that from a lens of fear, especially in the context of religion and purity culture And that is not at all what I'm trying to say. When I say that sensuality and sexuality is sacred, what I am saying is that it is not just about sex. It is not just about the physical. It is about your life force. It is about your emotional expression. It is about the deep love that you have for yourself. It is about your spiritual health, your emotional health. That's what it's about. It is not just about the physical. There is so much more to sex and sensuality and sensual expression than just the physical. And that is what I am trying to get at right now. Now, if this is a little bit triggering for you, if you've made it this far, good. And I say that because this is something that, like I said, society has a long way to go to in terms of healing, right? Our relationship with our sexual and sensual nature. And if you are someone who is open to the idea or pulled to this idea of exploring that aspect yourself of yourself on your own, you absolutely should. If you still have fears and shame around it, which you very likely do because of the way that we are conditioned in society, that's okay. Allow your triggers and your fears to teach you or guide you to the aspects of yourself that need to be healed, the aspects of yourself that need to be nurtured and tended to. Oftentimes, what lies underneath our fears and our triggers is a younger version of ourselves who was conditioned to be afraid of themselves, of their power, of their magic. And when I think of our life force, our fuel, our fire, like we all have a fire within us. And I always say that our solar plexus is like a little sun, but I think that that sun is lit up by a torch underneath, which is the sacral. Our sacral has to be open and balanced and functioning properly if we want to be fully in our power and our confidence and our sovereignty and be able to love other people. That's the heart chakra. Be able to express our truth, speak up for ourselves, set boundaries. That is our throat chakra. If we want to be able to tap fully into our intuition, our inner knowing, if we want to be able to connect to higher, it's all connected. And I'm not leaving out the root chakra. That is your foundation of safety, but your sacral chakra, that I think is the spark and the passion that fuels your entire life. And I think, maybe this is me being a conspiracy theorist, but I think there are no coincidences in the way that the media operates and creates this narrative around our sexuality. Because when we are disempowered sexually and sensually, we are disempowered emotionally, spiritually, and in the way that we love ourselves. And so in the process of reclaiming that, and when I say reclaiming that, I mean reclaiming that in a sacred way that makes sense for you, okay? That's a whole other conversation. But when you reclaim that, you are literally saying to yourself, to your subconscious, to your inner child, to society. I mean, fuck what society has to say. You are saying to the wounded parts of yourself, I am deserving of living a fully embodied fucking life. Because it's not just about sex, okay? Because we're not just physical, sexual beings. We're not just animals. We are energy. We are spiritual beings. We are extensions of the divine, and the divine is creation. The divine is the feminine. Nature is the feminine. It is creation. Nature's ability to bloom and blossom, the birds and the bees, we don't call it that for no reason. It's more than just the physical. It's about expression. It is about creation. It's about art, if you will. It's about living a life that is fully embodied. It's important for us to navigate life from a place of being lit the fuck up and turned on, if you will. Again, reassociating this idea of being turned on. What does that mean? It just means that you are immersed in what you're doing. You are fully open to what you are doing, right? And you could use this analogy of sex to better understand this, when a woman is turned on physically, she's gonna open a little bit more. Okay? Side note, if a man is like, you're so tight, that's not a good thing. It's not. It means that your body is like, no, I don't want this. Okay? I didn't realize that until recently, that like, that's not, you want to be open, okay? And speaking in terms of just living your life, you want to be open. You want to be stimulated emotionally and mentally. That is how we operate best. We operate the best in our careers, in our creative life, in our relationships, in our friendships, in our sex lives, in literally every aspect of our life. We operate best when we feel fulfilled and open emotionally and mentally and spiritually. When we're tapped into our pleasure, we can fully open up to our creative nature, to our creative flow. When you are fully embracing what turns me on, what gets me excited, what lights that fire, what is that spark in my life. When we're open to that, we are also open to our emotions, because you have to be open to your emotions in order to experience pleasure on any level. And our emotions are our fuel. They are the way that we understand life. A lot of us have spent too much time in the mind because, well, we need logic and reasoning to like make smart decisions in life. Yeah, sure, sometimes, but we cannot forget the feminine. We cannot forget the importance of using our emotions as a guide to make decisions. Does this feel good? It does? Why? Then you can use your logic and reasoning to carve out a path to pursue this in the most mindful way. Our emotions are a guide. If your emotions are suppressed, you're cut off from pleasure. How the fuck are you going to birth any ideas? How are you going to manifest, create the life that you want if you are cut off from your emotions and you are cut off from your pleasure? When you have a blocked sacral chakra, you are very likely living your life in a state of fear and or shame. Shame is literally, on a frequency level, is the lowest vibrational emotion. If you have any kind of shame around your sensuality, your sexuality, your emotional expression, that is going to dictate everything in your life. There's always going to be that little voice in the back of your mind, that aspect of yourself that is preventing you from birthing a life or opening to a life that is fully embodied, that is fully lit the fuck up, that is fully aligned with what it is that you desire, because you're not open to your desire. You're not open to what it is that you want. So how are you going to recognize opportunities or relationships that align with who you are and what best serves you if you are closed off to your desire and your pleasure and your passion and your fire? It is the foundation of a fully embodied life. It is a beautiful energy to tap into, especially if you are someone who is wanting to heal your feminine energy. To balance your feminine energy, tap in with your sacral chakra. Now, there is so much more that I could say about this, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to let me know in the comments. DM me on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. Not always, but it's a lot easier to message me, reach out to me on there, because I spend more of my time there than I do here, like checking comments. So if you have any questions or there's anything that you want me to expand on or talk about, please let me know. I'm very likely going to be making a video talking about specific ways, practices to activate and balance your sacral chakra. If that is something that interests you, let me know. If you want me to talk about any of the other chakras and dive into those, let me know. I'm here for you, okay? I love you so much. I am always grateful to share and hear your stories and hear your experiences with healing wherever you are at on your journey. I'm sending so much love to you. I said that already, but so much love to you always. And I will see you in the next one.